is a show that focuses on the person behind the brony. I'm your host, Osaka Jack. Please sit back and relax as we talk to this week's guest brony. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Into the Spotlight. This is your host, Osaka Jack, with his substandard audio setup still. Sorry for that. With me today, I have somebody who you may have seen if you've been to BronyCon anytime ever. Feulner, hello!
Hey, Osaka, how are ya?
I'm doing alright. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Well, that's good. Wonderful is always better than alright. I need to change my answer. I'm doing not as wonderful, but still pretty wonderful as Feulner. Okay, that's better. Well, if anybody doesn't know you, could you explain who are you? What do you do?
I'm known in the fandom as Feulner. Currently, I am the systems administrator for BronyCon, which is the largest Brony convention, so far. I used to be the head of VIP relations, but due to my final year of school at Rochester Institute of Technology, where I'm studying information security and forensics, I decided to step down from my role, but I'm still going to be playing a little bit of a role with BronyCon. But right now, just focusing on my academics.
Okay, good idea. So, like, beer pong, or?
No.
I know. I'm sorry, I'm joking. If I had really meant it, I wouldn't have said that, but okay.
Beer pong isn't a fun game anyways.
I know. I was disappointed.
Let's throw some ping pongs into a cup. Yeah.
It reminds me of the Bozo Show's grand prize game. I don't know if anybody here is old enough to remember it, but yeah. Guess just me. That's okay.
Too young. I'm too young.
Back in my day, we had to hope for the television to turn on after 30 seconds of warming up.
Oh, those CRTs will do that to you.
So, your current duties with BronyCon, how do those differ from your VIP relation ones? I mean, obviously, it's implied that it's going to be slightly less time and effort on your hands, because that's devoted to academics now.
Well, basically right now, BronyCon has 4 servers that I maintain. So as a systems administrator, I work hand in hand with our web developer, Emily, who is basically responsible for building the BronyCon website. Okay. Which, if you actually visit the BronyCon website, you'll see that we have a new teaser site up before we announce 2014. I can't really go into details about that.
I understand.
But stay tuned.
Really fast, I'm just going to say, for those of us who live outside of America, it is so much easier to plan to go to conventions when we have a lot of advance notice. Just saying.
Well, we're definitely going to have a lot more advance notice this year.
Okay.
But soon is all I can say.
Okay, alright.
But basically, as the systems administrator, it's very laid back. Once the systems are up and running, all the servers, it's pretty much all I do is just make sure that we're safe and secure from any attempts of people trying to hack into our servers, basically any security stuff like that.
Right.
But differing from VIP relations, it's a lot. When I was the VIP relations head of BronyCon, I was responsible for talking to all of the talent, their agents, signing contracts, booking them to come to the convention, and making sure that they have basically a fantastic time at the convention that they go to.
Right. Which, with some of the smaller cons, might not be as much when they have a guest, but BronyCon had everybody, so yeah.
When you have up to 10 guests, you have to align all of their flights with the driver, making sure that they get picked up from the hotel, from the airport to the hotel, making sure that all of their arrangements for them when they're at the convention center, make sure they have their security details, their handlers. It's a lot of micromanaging. If you've ever played an RTS, it's something like that.
I'm not sure if that's a great thing or a terrible thing, knowing that people are being taxied around like, okay, now, this person is heavily shielded, so I gotta make sure to use magic against them when I call the driver to pick them up from the airport.
If only if it was like that, it would be like 1,000 times more fun. But when I was the VIP head, it was definitely a ton of fun. Loved working with all the guests. Tara, Andrea, Brenda, Kathy, Nicole, you name it.
Were there any requests of the magnitude of, I need 1,000 light brown M&Ms in my room every day?
No, actually, strangely, there were no requests for special colored M&Ms. There were requests for special drinks and things like that, like soda.
Yeah.
And water, and all the little things.
I would think at this point that water would kind of be provided, but I suppose it's better to request it and have it there than, show up and, well, you didn't ask for water.
No, we definitely provide water. That's my standard. It's like, oh God, please, let's have water. Let's make sure they have refreshments, or people are gonna get hurt. Not physically, of course.
Yeah,
right. I'm not a violent person.
But yeah, if you're deprived of water, that... And honestly, who doesn't enjoy a fresh thing of water? I mean, I admit I was not there, but I have heard the song of the cold water, only $1 guy.
Oh, the ice cold water guy.
Yeah.
Oh man, ice cold water guy.
Was that person affiliated with BronyCon or just kind of showed up?
No. He's there every week. It's because of the Baltimore Orioles games.
Right.
So they kind of just do their street selling, basically. And people will buy ice cold water when it's just $1.
When it rhymes, you gotta buy it.
Of course. And he had all these crazy tactics. Somebody in the fandom, I can't think of the name right now, actually remixed the song with the ice cold water guy.
Yeah, I've heard that, and it's impressive. I hadn't heard the original guy, so I was like, wow, this is who sang this, and was it Oh, okay, they just recorded and remixed. I understand.
Yeah, we actually, when myself and Josh, who is the con chair for BronyCon this year, we were walking to go check out the convention center a couple of nights before the convention started, because we got in on Tuesday.
Right.
I think it was Wednesday. We saw the ice cold water guy on the way back because somebody had told us about him when they found out that we were a weekend before Otakon, and somebody who's an Otakon staffer was like, oh man, you guys are going to meet ice cold water guy, you guys are going to have a blast, and I was like, ice cold water guy? So like, it was this thought in the back of our heads, and we came across, and like Josh and I just looked at each other and went, oh, that's the ice cold water guy. So we went up to him and we said, if you want to make a killing this weekend, just come up with some pony references and when you are, trying to sell your water, because, I mean, we were just trying to give the guy business, and
right.
And we thought it'd be funny for him to start going off with pony references, because it's like that, double the fun kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he didn't end up making any pony references when trying to sell his water. At least I haven't heard of anything. But
the only one I can think of off the top of my head is if he had suddenly bust out with shooby dooby doo. Okay. Call the sea ponies for your water.
Call upon the sea ponies. Oh man. That would have been great.
That would have been awesome. Sea ponies want this ice cold water. Only $1. I'm curious with all the guests that you've had, what was one of the, and of course, small events are going to occur and occasionally the odd crisis is going to happen. Can you recall any specific instance of something that was really like nobody's fault, but it was just an odd fire that had to be put out, metaphorically?
Like, are you talking about like conventions or like, just odd?
Yeah, just like some situation that occurred that just nobody was expecting and kind of...
The big one that comes to mind for me would definitely have to have been LPU, personally.
Well, yes, yeah.
Of course, that's just the biggest one that anyone can really think of, but...
Right.
Honestly, I didn't even see it coming.
Wow, okay.
I was just, when I was at the convention, like, weeks leading up, I was like, man, they're spending a ton of money to get all of these guests, because when you sign for them and you're flying them out, it costs a lot of money.
Sure.
Believe it or not.
Yes.
Excuse me. And I was just like, wow, they're getting all these people, like in my head, I know all of their, the information, like how much it is, like, because I've worked with the agents before, I'm just like, geez, how many people are they expecting? And when I got to the convention center, I was like, wow, this isn't a lot of people that I was expecting. It's like, I would expect a lot more, especially when you're trying to make revenue from, pre-registrations, because for a lot of conventions, it's pre-regs that bring in money to pay for things.
Right.
So, I mean, LPU was like going to be my first time in Vegas. I was going to have a blast. I was just going to, just have fun. And it ended up turning into a very stressful weekend, but good. Mm-hmm. I still had fun.
I'm glad that people had some fun, but yeah, it's definitely a blight upon the convention scene.
Mm-hmm. And the agents are definitely, they took it positively. The talent took it positively because they didn't want to affect the other conventions in the fandom.
Oh yeah, I mean, it could have been, an extreme explosion.
Disastrous.
And that's it. No more VAs for anything could have happened. Could easily have happened. Sure.
Mm-hmm. And it was a very touchy time around December to February because Hasbro didn't want the talent to attend conventions.
Interesting.
But the agents pushed back and said, no, this is, revenue for our talent, they should be able to go.
Yeah.
And with LPU suddenly happening right when they lifted it, it could have went the wrong way very quickly, but luckily we were able to work with them and resolve it.
Good. Yeah. With conventions just starting up here, there is question. They're wondering, will we be able to get the voice talent to come over? Either the Japanese voice talent, much more likely, or possibly, I wonder if we could get some of the English voice talent to come over. Because, I mean...
My big thing a lot for first-time conventions or just small starting conventions is don't dream big, but don't dream too big. Plan for your minimums. You may not have a guest your first year. And there are a ton of conventions that have had that. You've got BronyCon.
I've never heard a negative thing about BronyCon, and despite that, I don't think they have a lot of huge guests that show up.
I mean, you don't have to have a big talent show name because if it's a large gathering of people in a bunch of area, maybe a few community guests is a great way to start out. And only grow with what you expect. That's the best way to keep a convention going alive for the next year.
I've mentioned it before, but I think the biggest problems that occur are when a small convention pretends that it is a large convention. That's just not the case.
I mean, everyone wants to dream large, dream big, go for that super awesome extra mile, but when it comes to, conventions, financials, there's a lot of things in the background that happen, signing venue contracts, catering contracts if it's required, unions, it gets pretty big very quickly.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't expect it to.
Not something to be thrown together at the last minute. Absolutely.
Oh, most definitely.
Which is why I'm hoping that BronyCon will announce when it's going to have next year's show so I can possibly come. Probably not, but there's a chance. There's a small chance.
I wish I could give you details.
But I'm not pushing. I'm just saying in general, not just BronyCon, a lot of the other cons too. I mean, I know Everfree Northwest has announced the July 4th weekend again, which unfortunately I just can't do this year, or next year. I won't be able to do it. So I'm looking at the times when I have vacation and hoping that other cons congeal around that time. Yeah. It would be nice. I did make, last week I made a joke with the Japan. They're calling it convention. I'm still on the fence whether or not it's convention, but okay. They call themselves cons, so okay. But I made a joke to Peter New and Andrea Libman. I said, well, if we pay you guys your weight in sushi, will you come out to a Japan BronyCon? And Andrea responded, time to gain some weight.
Oh.
Which is a perfect response, I think.
But sushi is so good. Andrea loves sushi. And I love sushi. Sushi is very good.
I'm not going to guarantee that sushi you get here is better than you get in the States. I won't guarantee that because I know that America's really good at recreating the restaurants of the country of origin. But chances are there are better sushi places here.
I will make note of that.
I'm going to say, yeah. I'm curious, have there been any, and we don't have to specifically name names, but with community guests, have there been any issues that have arisen that were unexpected?
Honestly, none that I can think of.
Did you deal a lot with community guests as VIP relations?
I did not.
Okay.
VIP relations mainly deals with the show talent. Anybody that works with the show or has some affiliation was my department.
I understand. So then it wouldn't be a question you could answer, really. Sorry, never mind.
Unfortunately, no. I'm sorry.
We could do rumor and conjecture right now, but no, let's not.
Ah, no.
There's enough of that going around anyway. Guys, this is totally... Feulner paid me to be on the show this week. Totally gave me money. It's a bribe. It's so cool.
Did you bring the goods?
I'm recording you, aren't I?
Right?
Actually, I think right now, I've mentioned it on Twitter and Vine, with Halloween season, we have pumpkin pudding Kit Kats available now, and woohoo, that's something I can bribe people with. Imagine pumpkin pie with a cinnamon dusting on a Kit Kat.
I would suggest that you talk to Michelle Creeper about these. She loves Kit Kats.
When I went to Everfree Northwest, I brought her some green tea Kit Kats she didn't care for, and some of the blueberry cheesecake Kit Kats, which were special release, which apparently were really enjoyed. Oh, and the passion fruit Kit Kats, that's right. Japan gets new Kit Kats every few months. And they're just...
They get all these amazing flavors, but nothing for the United States. This saddens me.
It's a double-edged sword, though, because we get these amazing flavors, but they never come back. Passion fruit Kit Kats were here in spring, but they're gone now, and they're never coming back.
So you have to, stockpile them.
If you want to be eating them for a long time, yeah.
And you could do a Kit Kat black market if you really wanted to. I mean, I think it'd be pretty profitable for you.
I'm not sure how long a Kit Kat would survive, though. Hey, man, you want a passion fruit Kit? Didn't they stop those 4 years ago? Well, yeah, but I've kept it cool.
You want a passion fruit Kit Kat? I got lots of them. Whole pallet for you.
Honestly, I think the strawberry cheesecake ones would probably be the best ones to do that for.
I would buy all of them.
They were really, really good. But on the other side, the Azuki ones were absolutely terrible.
Oof.
Azuki,
the name just makes me not want to eat them.
It's a sweet bean paste that Japan likes to put in some candy items. I don't care for it as a general rule, but put it in between chocolate and it just got really bad. Well, one of the other things that you have been involved in is search and rescue.
Yes. I was a ground team leader for search and rescue with the United States Air Force for about 6 years, 6 to 7. It ranges. Mm-hmm. But was definitely something I was involved with for quite a long time. And I recently retired, actually coming to my 1-year retirement date in the next couple of months here.
Happy retire-versary then.
Oh, well, thank you.
That should totally be an event. We should totally have retire-versaries.
Hallmark,
get on it.
Give me cards, Hallmark. I want cards. I'd be surprised to see if they actually had any retire-versary cards.
You know, let's look for it. And if anything else, we have to write down today's date and say that we were the first ones to think of it. Retire-versary.
Copyright, do not steal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Original content.
Yep.
Playing along with that joke in the fandom.
Oh, jeez. What were some of your, if you can talk about them, what were some of your specific duties when you were in the search and rescue?
Well, as a ground team leader, I'm responsible basically for, if I'm part of a group, usually, there's, the way that the regions are broken down to is that you have the entirety of the United States, the 50 states.
Yes.
So then you have 7 regions that all take part in sections of the United States, so like Midwest, Northeastern region.
Okay.
Our group was part of the Northeastern region, and the New York State wing as part of Middle Eastern group in New York. So, as a ground team leader for that group, I was one of the 3 ground team leaders for the group, 2 of which had full-time jobs, and myself, I was just a student, but I had some pretty flexible hours, so I was good for pretty much any of the times.
Right.
So, with only being the 3, there was a chain to where they would call the first one, they'd call the second one, they'd call the third one, and say, can any of you make this, this mission?
Right.
And if one of you says yes, so let's say, for example, I get called on to do a mission, so I would have to call my team. I would have to call everybody on the list that's authorized to go out onto a mission, say, can you be at mission base in 45 minutes? Okay? Yes. All right. I'll see you in 45.
Okay.
Then as soon as I'm done calling everybody, it's usually around the 30-minute mark, so people start, pouring into the base.
Right.
So as they're getting in, I have to fill out all of their paperwork, sign them off, make sure all of their certs are good, make sure their ID is current, and then pretty much start prepping the vans and the equipment and the aircraft if necessary.
Okay.
Basically, the United States Air Force has an auxiliary called the Civil Air Patrol, which I'm a part of, and we have the largest private fleet of Cessnas in the world.
Oh, wow.
They're usually Cessnas for every group, if not multiple Cessnas for every state.
Okay.
So these aircraft usually are equipped with the pilot, the navigator, and the mission operator, which has a camera. And usually what they'll do is they'll fly out to where an emergency beacon, and they'll circle around, look for any aircraft wreckage, smoke, fire. And if they see anything, they'll take pictures, send them back to us using our satellite system, and they'll give us the GPS coordinates, and then we go out and do the dirty work in the field.
Okay.
So it's a lot of bushwhacking. If it's like wintry, snowy, we're hiking through the woods, just basically trying to get to the aircraft within the first 24 hours, which is the most essential time.
Sure.
It's 24 golden hours, basically.
Right.
Because for every hour that you're not there, it decreases, I believe, either 10 to 20% with their chances of survival.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Huh. I have to say, at least the first part of what you described to me is the substitute teacher system in Missouri. In that, if you wish to be if you get the certificate, then you sign up to be a substitute teacher. They will call you at like 5 a.m, and when you answer, they'll say, please put in your teacher code. And you put in your code, and they will say, do you wish to work today at this school, teaching this job? If yes, press 1. And if you're up to it, you push 1, and then you get dressed, and then you go to that school and you teach for the day. And if you say 2, then the call automatically goes to the next person who's on the list.
Wow. I wish our system was automated. We don't even have an automated system to do that, basically. Everything is by hand.
I kind of would prefer that search and rescue be done by hand. I wouldn't like the idea of your entire team being put out there because because there was a glitch and somebody hit the wrong button or something.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Sometimes by hand's the best way.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, one question that I ask in each of my interviews, in all of My Little Pony, what would you say is the one line or one scene that defines you as a brony?
Ooh. Oh, this is a tough one. One scene.
One line or one scene, yeah. I've had a few people say an entire episode, okay, just trying to avoid somebody saying, the whole thing! Okay, no.
Ooh, man, this is one of those tough questions. Like, I thought you were gonna be like, who's your favorite pony? What's your favorite episode? Because those are usually pretty easy for me.
Exactly, yeah, that's why I don't ask.
One scene that defines it.
If it weren't
I wouldn't say
copyrighted.
it's necessarily a scene, but I would have to say it's Rainbow Dash's undying loyalty to her friends.
Okay.
That just defines me entirely as a brony, or even as a person.
Sure. I can see that. Can you think of a specific instance that just really calls to you? I have my own favorite Rainbow Dash loyalty scene, but I'm interested in
it would have to be in the first episode, or the first two. That's the whole episode for me, basically, even though it's a two-parter. When she could have had the chance to do her dream to be one of the best flyers, and either if it was the Shadow Bolts or the Wonder Bolts, instead she chose her friends.
Yeah.
Rather than something that she's been dying for her entire life.
That's
and that speaks a lot, especially on like a personal level.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. My, the line that I always use if I'm going to describe Rainbow Dash's loyalty is in Hurricane Fluttershy. She really wants the record. They want the record. She really wants Ponyville to get the record. And then when she shows up that day, so many of the ponies are not there. And I can't remember who is it that turns to her and says, "Should we give up?" And she just, not even a heartbeat, says, "No, they need that water." Bam, right there. Forget the record. They need that water. Just bam. That's it. Yep. I know I've been working for this for a long time, but forget it. It's less important. Go.
I'll eat the record if it means that I still get to do my job.
Yep.
Because people need it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's good. It's yeah. As we're recording this, yesterday was the Japan BronyCon. I mentioned it to you before we started recording, but of the main six, Rainbow Dash scored the lowest on popularity with them.
Which I'm still shocked to even know. It's like a complete flip from the United States. It's just everyone in the U.S. is like, yeah, Rainbow Dash is best pony.
I think probably it is like most people who like all of the main six just when they have to choose a favorite.
Yep. Personally, I enjoy every character.
Yes. But no, yeah. And if anybody listening is curious, the bottom ranked pony was Rainbow Dash, but the top one was Applejack. Applejack of the main six. Which I'm not sure I've ever seen Applejack score top score on main six popularity in the States.
True.
And of all the characters, don't you think that's an interesting pairing that they had? Tied for first, Princess Luna and Applejack.
What? Well, looks like we're gonna have Applejack as a princess in season 5.
Lunajack is the new shipping. I don't know, should we call it Lunajack or Appaluna?
I like Appaluna, but personally Lunajack would be the one that everyone would use, but Appaluna will always be in my heart.
We shall keep the Appaluna flame alive. Indeed.
The strongest ship that sails.
So, working as much as you have with BronyCon, I have to know, what was the stands out in your mind the most cosplay that you've seen at BronyCon?
What was the question again?
Which cosplay has just stood out in your mind the most out of all the ones that you've seen at the BronyCons?
The one that sticks out in my mind the most, and it didn't happen at BronyCon, but I was at Everfree I was at Equestria LA, and I got hired last minute to be Andrea's handler on Sunday.
Okay.
And this little girl, she was dressed up as Fluttershy. She had to be at least 6 years old, but it was the most adorable cosplay I had ever seen. And she just came up, and Andrea's just like, "Oh, you're so adorable." And I was just like, do you want a picture? And she's like, "Yes, take a picture." And I'm like, it was just really cute to see, like her dad had brought her into the convention, this little kid. And that's the one that sticks out the most for me at any convention I've been to, was that experience.
That's nice. I loved it at Everfree Northwest. There was a little kid, couldn't have been, I'm going to have to say 4 or 5 at the most, but dressed in full Wonderbolt regalia. It was so cute.
Always the little kids are the most adorable, because you're just like, oh, you're so cute and adorable, you're such a small child,
You're so small! Man, if I said that with every time I saw a small child, I would be my voice would wear out. Just on the train. You're so small and adorable! I know you're a 40-year-old man, but still!
Oh, boy.
So, which, obviously you're going to be attending BronyCon next year, but is there any other will not miss on your list?
Would definitely have to be Everfree Northwest.
Okay.
I do not want to miss.
Right.
And if I can go out to any other conventions, I'll definitely do my best to make my rounds, as I call it.
Sure. And they were surprisingly cheap, just a few bags of pumpkin pudding Kit Kats.
Yes, I do. Just pumpkin pie Kit Kats and I'm yours.
Yep. Just talk to me, I'll send you out a few bags, you can hire him, and there we go.
Yeah. You're my bookie. You're my talent agent.
I don't know, the system that we have here, I might be your junkie. Or your dealer. Yeah, I got the pumpkin Kit Kats.
I need my pumpkin Kit Kat fix. It's been 2 weeks, man. 2 weeks.
I don't know, I got the Kit Kats, but I don't know if you can handle it. This is pure unfiltered.
I can handle it.
At some point you stop chewing them and just shove them directly into your nose. Oh, that's good Kit Kat.
Oh man, the Kit Kat drug epidemic of 2013.
Stories we can tell our kids. It was horrible.
I once had 2 whole Kit Kats in my nose.
And I was preparing to shove a third one in there before the intervention got to me.
I don't think we should keep going with this, because this train I don't think will stop.
Yeah, it's going to derail rather quickly, but okay.
Oh boy. Puns, here we go.
Well, have you ever considered doing cosplay? Because I've only seen you at Everfree Northwest, but there was no cosplay aspect to you.
Aside from you being Hasbro.
Yes, that's true. You were Hasbro. That was
my cosplay for the convention.
That deserves an explanation.
Oh, well, it was actually just pretty much a joke that I was just going with. It's because of the suit. I was like, I think I'm going to have fun with the suit, because when you're in a suit, nobody really questions you.
Yes.
At least from what I've had at conventions. This was a big thing for me at LPU. As long as you have a stern walk, a face that looks like you know what you're doing, and the suit to go with it, everyone's going to either think that you work for the hotel or that you're somebody of big importance, which
you have just described the last decade of my life. Yep. As long as I have decent clothes, good stride, and serious face, I can pretty much go anywhere in Japan. And yep, okay.
Because it's with people's subconscious, because they see the suit, they see that you have a walk, and you just look like you know what you're doing, or that you belong there. They're just going to go, oh, that probably works here, and just, they don't think anything of it.
I have had Japanese people ask me directions.
Oh,
okay,
man.
Okay. Go ahead.
I actually had somebody at a con ask me about a hotel question. Just some random person. Just, they came into the hotel, they're like, excuse me, sir, do you know where I can, where the elevator to get to, room, 1367 is? I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't work for the hotel, but the front desk is right around the corner, they'll be able to help you. But at OPU, I was joking. I was like, I could write Hasbro on the back of my badge, and, people will probably believe it's true. So, it's just something stuck in the back of my mind. And so when I went to Everfree Northwest, I was like, no one's gonna really believe Hasbro written on the back of a badge. But you would be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
There were few people who legitimately thought that I was from Hasbro. They came up to me and they said, man, are you really from Hasbro? And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Wow. I knew of the cosplay, but I figured everybody would get the joke.
So did I. But I assumed incorrectly for a little bit.
It would seem so, wow.
Mm-hmm. But I would say that if I was going to do a cosplay, I would probably do either Soren or Shining Armor.
Okay.
Mainly because of how closely related they are to something sub-military.
Sure. I can see that. So,
Soren looks more like a captain from an airline, but that works for me because I really like aircraft.
nobody's saying that a captain from an airline cannot be ex-military, and a lot of them are.
You'd be surprised. A lot they're retired, ex-military.
Exactly. Yep.
And they just fly aircraft because it's something they enjoy.
Mm-hmm. And have experience doing,
flight hours.
Yeah. And Shiny Armor is was captain of the Royal Guard. I'm pretty sure he isn't anymore now that he doesn't live in Canterlot, but...
Now he's the prince of his own kingdom.
Yeah. And apparently the track coach.
That too.
I'm not sure if that would count as military, but you get to blow a whistle and then order people around while you're wearing a baseball cap, so hey.
Close enough.
Good enough,
it works.
Yes.
Works for me.
How about Iron Will? We can, drill instructor. Yelling a lot. Catchy rhymes to march to.
Well, they would... His rhymes are not really cadences necessarily for marching, but they're close enough.
Yeah. He's competent enough at rhyming that I think he could adapt.
He strikes me more as that overzealous gym instructor.
Substitute gym teacher. There we go.
Yeah. It's like, all right, today we're going to work your glutes. We're going to go up, down, left, right. It's like, what are we doing?
I would say it reminds me more of the gym teacher who really hasn't studied any new things. So like, okay, we're getting out the medicine balls. What? People use that?
Little kids.
People use those still? Really? Okay. Medicine balls, sure.
We're going to do side straddle hops. What are those? Jumping jacks. They're called side straddle hops? Yes.
Apparently called star jumps now. I didn't know this, but somebody told me that star jumps is the proper term. Whatever. I guess people don't play jacks anymore, so,
Oh, man.
I gotta tell you,
I always skunk at it.
Younger generation, you may think it's bad stepping on a Lego. You have no idea how much worse it is stepping on one of your sister's jacks.
Oh, man.
Those things blended into the carpet, and you wouldn't know it until it was punctured.
And then your foot bleeding. And you're like, what?
Yeah. Legos are bad. One single jack is so much worse.
It could topple an entire fandom.
Well, are there any other events or things that you'd like to plug while you're here? Obviously, BronyCon. People should pay attention to the nice, clean, shiny servers that are running.
Yeah. And if you have a problem with the website, you can yell at our web developer, but if the system breaks, you can yell at me. Mm-hmm. You can send me emails.
We should reiterate that it's a problem with the, site itself, not with, I don't like this.
Oh, yeah. Just, if you can't connect to it, then it's a problem. If you just don't like the design, well, I'm sorry. Not my department.
Question about the total use of Comic Sans everywhere?
Oh, man. No, Comic Sans is a horrible font. You should use, Chiller or Papyrus. Those are the top-notch fonts. Right there.
Zap dingbats.
That's just cruel levels.
We, at my school, we're actually going to be moving to a new location in November, and we have to actually make a sign. And I've said this before, but something that Comic Sans has going for it, a positive point about Comic Sans, is that the lowercase a in Comic Sans looks how people write a lowercase a. And in most other fonts, it does not.
True.
Mm-hmm. So my boss asked for her opinion about the sign, and she showed it to me in Comic Sans. I said, no, we have to change this. We have to find another font that has a decent lowercase a.
We need to fix this.
I know we use it for some of the worksheets, but no, I can't work somewhere that has a sign in Comic Sans. No.
I wouldn't want to. My boss once made a sign jokingly out of Comic Sans, and I'm like, do this again and I may want to leave. Please don't ever use Comic Sans. Of course, he did it as a joke, just to rile up a lot of the kids that work there, but
Sure.
I was just like, no! No Comic Sans. Even though there's a gentleman that I know, I think his name is Kibby. He loves Comic Sans, just to joke around with on internet pictures.
Sure. If it's joking around, fine. And it's almost become an overused meme at this point, but still, no. Create your own.
Yeah, just get your own meme.
Or, I mean create your own font.
Oh, there are a lot of systems out there to create your own fonts.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can even make it out of your handwriting if you wanted.
No, I'd rather people were able to read. We'll use one for my handwriting. Just call it Chicken Scratch and Chicken Scratch Sans Serif.
It's a true type font.
Well, everybody, today we have been speaking with Feulner.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming by today.
It's been a pleasure. It's been an honor to be on the show, and I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yeah. Be sure to follow him on Twitter and his Tumblr with lots of funny gifs, and check out the BronyCon site. And if you do crash in a plane, you can go ahead and set off a beacon, but he probably won't be one to respond.
Not yet.
Unless it's right in his area.
I've actually gotten some calls. You'd be surprised.
Really?
They're like, oh, we know you're retired, but we can send you out on this. Are you nearby? And I'm like, no, I'm 4 hours away. Sorry.
Oh. That's a
I'm looking to probably get out of retirement in the next couple of years, but I want to finish up my academic career first.
Good call. Well, everybody, this has been Into the Spotlight with Osaka Jack on Everfree Network. We'll catch you next time.
Good evening.